everyone, and welcome to The Baker's View right here on twitch.tv/DC Laeral. That's me! Hey, imagine that. Funny how that works out, right? Okay. So, thank you for coming. I really appreciate everybody being here. And this is day 3 of my birthday celebration, extended out to 3 days. Yay!
Happy birthday, DC!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
This is the final big event, and we're doing a charity stream for Jasper's Game Day. To get to the link, type !donate in the chat, and that will come up for you. And before we get into all the lovely people I asked to come on in and play with me today, I got to thank a few people. First, D&D Beyond for all the giveaways that are happening. Today we have 3 sets of the Dice of Heroism to give out and a player's handbook. So look for those giveaways starting up around the time we take a break. And thank you to Sirenscape. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Because epic games need epic sound, they've provided all the music you will hear during this stream. All right. Now let's go around and introduce everybody. Let's start with, let's go reverse order from what I see. Zero, go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zer Reynolds, a.k.a. Sir Jester, and I'm the reason we can't have nice things. You can find me everywhere online at Sir Jester, and streaming at least 4 times a week on Twitch, where I show everything from mini painting to how to write for TTRPGs and build your own worlds. And coming up here soon, running a fair few games myself.
All right. Thank you. Herb.
Hi, I am Brian, aka Herb, aka Urban Bohemian, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I am on Twitch 3 days. I was going to say 4. No, it's 3. 3 days a week, doing a variety of things: gaming, tabletop, chatting, food, lots and lots of cocktails, because I do enjoy a drink. And you can also catch me Sundays at Rivals of Waterdeep, twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep. And I think that's it. I'm tired. Is anyone else tired? I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Well, next in our Those Who Need Naps carousel is Pirate.
Me. Hi, I'm the Painting Pirate. He can pronounce I'm the nice things that Zero can't have. I am predominantly a mini painter. I split my time streaming between mini painting and playing through various Final Fantasy things because I'm a massive Final Fantasy nerd. That's my source of joy. Yeah, I'm exhausted. It's been a real long week, so this is going to be real fun. Cheers.
All right. And finally, Panda.
Hi, I'm Panda. You can find me at Awkwardish Panda literally everywhere on the internet. That's where I am. I stream 3 to 4 days a week on my channel. I'm also on Dibbles Dice's channel on Sunday mornings for the Wayward Revelry. I'm very busy and I'm very tired and I'm probably in danger because gestures at the Zoom screen. Maybe not Herb, but the other 2 are terrifying.
Aw, thank you. No one ever suspects me.
No, I'm terrified of you as a DM.
Oh, damn.
I was at that show, sir.
I got patted down before I came into the Zoom call. There are no dragons on me. I'm just saying.
Yet.
Yeah, he gave them to me.
Oh, no.
So.
Oh, good.
That was a range of reactions.
And thank you, Panda, for doing all the artwork today. The start screen, the overlay, everything.
Hey, you're welcome.
All thanks to
Cypher
Panda.
for telling me to get into Canva and learn how to do things.
Cypher's coming out the gate swinging. Just saying.
Oh. All right.
Just all sorts of swinging.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be that kind of game, is it? Okay.
May you not get what I had last game and get the wild magic surge that then you have to roll 10 more.
So already, before we even start, Lily, thank you. There's advantage for 0. Cypher, thank you. Herb, you're going to have a wild magic surge to roll in a little bit. And speaking of those things, right down below me is the incentives list. You can type !game changers in the chat to bring up that as well. You donate for any of those levels. So $25 disadvantage, $35 advantage, $45 inspiration, $50 max damage, $75 alchemical mix, which is I made a chart. I roll on that chart and select 2 different potions. Whatever mix happens rains down upon the party and affects all of them, even if they're inside. So, and finally, for $100, a wild magic surge.
Lovely.
And tell you
We're
what,
in danger.
if anyone wants to donate $500, I'll do a draw of the deck of many things.
No, I mean, but also yes, but also no.
But also, yes.
I mean, that's...
Oh yeah, this would be
It's for
great.
charity.
It's for charity.
Absolutely.
If you donate $1,000, one of us will have to oil wrestle a Tarrasque. So look forward to that.
This will happen.
It's
Why are
fine.
you
I'm an
coming for my
archer. I
Saturday
don't
nights
have
like this?
I don't have to get that close.
Anywho,
Don't worry, if that happens, I'm already thinking of something to make it go. So it'll be great.
Oh no. Pixar, it didn't happen. Truth.
All right, let's get into this. So, in the city of Waterdeep, city of splendors, celebration. It's Laeral Silverhand's birthday. Every ward, every district is decorated to the nines for the party. Be citywide. And we go into one building in the North Ward, a bakery. And first thing we see above a large mantle in this industrial baker's kitchen, it's just huge. People are running around doing things. But in a place of prominence is this large Charles Foster Kane-sized picture of a man who is very grumpy. He's wearing a baker's apron, and he looks displeased with the world. And below it is a nameplate that says Franklin Ondent. And staring up at this picture is a man who is in a baker outfit just covered in flour and other things, other dry ingredients, maybe some eggs, so, might have had spills. And he looks panicked, and he's wandering back and forth, wondering what he's going to do. And he's very, very nervous about pulling this off, and something is very, very wrong. And this is where you all step into this large bakery to meet this man who is about 5'7". He's short brown hair. His eyes are very wide with concern and partial panic. He's biting at his nails. He's walking through. And so as you come into this, please describe yourselves. Let's start with Sigrid. Panda.
So Sigrid is a very tall, apparently elven woman, long black hair, lots of braids tied up, very Viking style. She wears very plain black leather armor, gray pants, tall black boots, has a white driftwood bow strung across her shoulders, and just a very simple pack. She's just very chill.
All right. And Pirate. Here.
Captain Tyrion Skydale is a reasonably tall half-elven male. He is wearing a very, very well-tailored long red coat over a hanging open, billowing, piratical-styled shirt, wearing very nicely made leather boots, has a functional but fairly ornate sword strapped to his hip, and is wearing a large hat with a feather that appears to be about 2 sizes too big for the hat it's attached to.
Okay.
This shaggy kind of brown hair and a very nicely kept beard.
All right. Sylvester, Herb.
Sylvester is a crystal gem dragonborn. So sort of just kind of crystalline and shiny with horns that have a little bit of they kind of have glitter on the end. He's wearing makeup that actually kind of is glittery and a bit rainbowy. He's wearing a sort of a tight traveling tunic and a sleeveless coat that goes over it about down to his waist. He's about 6 foot and doesn't have any doesn't appear to have any visible instruments on him. Just his equipment is strapped to him, and he's kind of always looking like he's listening to music, though there's nothing playing.
All right.
He's a walking disco ball. I love him already.
And Zero, Orvin.
Orvin's a halfling male, close crop, slightly disheveled hair, a scale male that looks maybe half size too big, but very clean, and is looking around with widened eyes that seem unable to blink.
All right, awesome. And an assistant goes up to this very nervous baker and goes, "Okay, I brought them in." He's like, "Oh, you're here. You're the ones that I sent for. Excellent. So, as you know or may know, it's Laeral Silverhand's birthday. Nothing big about that. I'm trying to do this man." And he points up to the Charles Foster Kane-sized portrait. Trying to do this man, the baker's baker, Franklin Ondant, trying to live up to his name, his fame. I inherited this place after he left, and now I gotta make this best party. This is my first big showing, and to make the cake, to make this excellent cake, to make it truly special, someone has stolen my good berry extract. And I have to mix it in at the right time that the cake is made, or it just all falls apart. It's terrible. Someone stole it. I don't know what to do, but that's why I've asked you to come, because I can't have the town guards knowing that I potentially messed up Laeral Silverhand's birthday. So, yes, if you could find that for me, please, in a couple hours, because we gotta bake the cake in a couple hours, and we only just found it missing a little while ago. So, we fortunately have a lead. Flower footprints. It's amazing. So we're thinking it's someone that's been striking bakeries recently, called the Frosting Phantom. And he comes in, takes something, disappears, and you'll have to go into the sewers for this, I'm afraid. You gotta go up Baker Street to near 22B and dive right into the sewer there. That's where we lost track.
Well, fear not, we've got this. If it's the Frosting Phantom, this is going to be absolutely nothing for us. Now, if it were the Buttercream Bandit, that's the one we got to watch for. But the Frosting Phantom, it's nothing. The poor man's Buttercream Bandit. That's what the Frosting Phantom is. So, if you would point us, please, in the direction of these footprints.
Like I said, we already followed them. You just go up Baker Street. I need you to listen. You go up Baker Street next to 22B, and you go in the sewer. And that's where we lost him, because none of us have time to go in the sewer and look for it. It could be dangerous.
Did you say the sewer?
Yes.
Oh, not that any of us are typically excited to go to the sewer. Is there a reason why this, I'm sorry, Frosting Phantom is ransacking kitchens?
We really don't know, but he's stolen baked goods and prized rolling pins, and no idea. It's been happening for a few weeks now. And
couldn't we just go? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Would it be better if we just bought some goodberry extract for you? If it goes into the sewer,
you can't buy it. It takes 3 months to prepare. It was our only vial.
Oh. Well, I am out of ideas.
Think we're going in the sewer.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Well,
I think we are.
I merely only have one other question. What is our work worth to you? What are we getting out of this? I mean, obviously, we're saving your reputation. We are putting the good name of your
Okay,
kitchen, your
all right.
legacy on the line.
Because it's the birthday. I got a little side deal with the Bakers Guild, and I can give you 100 gold each.
Ooh.
Make it worth your while, because this is very last minute. It was a surprise, and nothing needs to go wrong today.
Noted.
A little
I
late
guess,
for that, but
yeah.
I suppose that's at least going to make it easier to go down there.
Yes.
Sorry, Zero. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Orvin. Oh.
This is not going to be my first time having to climb in a sewer to do someone's dirty work. Shall we go?
No, it won't be the first, won't be the last. It's all fine.
Oh God, sooner started, sooner
Oh.
finished. Oh,
Exactly.
I can already
It's-
feel the shame of Mr. Ondent looking down at me. Oh,
would you mind maybe just? Would it help if you just turned the portrait around?
we can't do that. This is his place.
No,
Draw a
I
little
think you
funny
said it was
moustache on it.
your place. It was his place. It's now your place. Maybe
Yes,
own
of
that a
course.
little bit.
Just just something to think about. Just something to think about.
Yeah, well, maybe once I pull off the best birthday ever, I can worry about this becoming more my place and not his.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
we'll
grab
just-
like the nearest
sewer.
assistant and be like, go
Like,
get a
"Oh,
tarp
hello."
to throw over that portrait. It'll help your boss.
It's
And go.
it's the Little Debbie Syndicate all over again.
Not
Baker
the
Street,
little
huh?
Debbie's.
All right. All right.
Baker Street it is.
Oh,
Most thematically appropriate, at least.
We make our way to
Onwards.
the sewer grate.
oh.
All right. And
Not a fan.
as they adventure off, this is where I remind everyone, hey, you can affect the game. I think I did the right command. There we go. And yeah, it links in chat what the donation incentives do. So as we're starting, now's a good time to start messing with everything, even me. So as you're walking down the street, this seems like a good time for that wild magic surge to happen. That Brian got. So, Herb, do me a big favor and roll me some percentile dice.
37.
37. All right. Let's see here. 37. Roll a d6.
Oh. Okay. 3.
There we go.
All right. So, as you're wandering up, right next to you appear 3 flumps, each with monocles and top hats. Appear, they look at you, and they scramble off, and they appear frightened of you. They keep a watchful eye, but they're at a distance. They're all just...
So Sylvester just waves and is like, I love your hats.
They look,
Pretty nice hats.
they look at this, and in
Really
your mind you
appreciate the
hear,
nice-
"Oh, thank you."
Oh my.
I-
Where did they come from?
I mean, we're off to sewers now. I don't know. I really. Do we invite them with us? I don't really know what. Is it?
I assure you, nobody who wears a hat like that has any desire to go down into the sewers.
It's true.
I mean, not that we've exactly got, a fondness for the idea, but
No, well, I mean, yeah.
also if we
don't-
invite them, we then have to split the money.
I don't know the protocol. They didn't teach this in seminary about spontaneous chapeaued flumps. So best to bid them a good day.
True. Always expect the unexpected. Welcome to Waterdeep. There's a bakery down that way, and we're off to some sewers.
And at the sound of the bakery, they go towards it and they all vanish.
Well,
Yeah, okay. They were flumps, so
Right.
let's just clear a little.
There
Yeah.
were flumps.
Okay.
And so you arrive in front of 22B Baker Street. And there's a large sewer grate in front of you.
and does it look like we could fit through there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's no point postponing the inevitable. I'll give you a hand. So someone give me a
help
hand with
lift
this
it.
grate.
Orvin, it's okay. Just breathe.
Don't do that. That is the last
Don't-
thing you want. Hold your breath.
But don't inhale.
Right.
I realize that sounds a little contradictory.
Too late.
Oh,
Too late.
I prestidigitate like some sort of good smell that clears the sinuses a little bit.
Thank you.
Try to avoid
welcome.
anything wet and glistening, and let's just go.
Oh God. Oh God.
He says that, and I look at my boots that are still incredibly shiny from the mayonnaise incident because they're now basically waterproof leather. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I hop in first. I'll just jump right in.
All right. You jump in. It's quite a bit down. You could have taken the ladder and done this safely, but so roll an acrobatics check on your way down.
Sure. It's a 22.
All right. You make a sploosh and who knows what, but you manage to roll up out of it.
Ooh.
Oh,
Can't just like land on my feet. Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Prestidigitate all of it off of me immediately.
yeah, we're gonna take.
I will
ladder
take the
down.
ladder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ladder sounds good. Yeah.
Wasn't expecting a ladder. I just hopped in.
I think
Like the last time I had
the
to go
adage
in
is
something,
always
I
look before
fell
you leap.
all the way through the air into a pit of mayonnaise.
You've mentioned this mayonnaise
It was
thing.
a
Something about a jug.
thing. Yes,
Oh,
it was
okay.
awful. I've been in worse situations than this.
Oh.
You must really, really hate mayonnaise if you think that's worse than this.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, yeah. Okay.
Oh, which is it lit down here? Like what sort of
Oh,
situation?
God, no,
are we
it's
in?
dull as anything. It's definitely not lit.
This is true.
Ugh.
I mean, we crack open our flasks and it could get lit real quick,
I
but
mean, I've been to some interestingly themed parties, and nothing has ever screamed sewer.
Not the kind of joint you want to have a foam party at.
no.
Mm.
Yes.
What's
So
it soap?
it is decidedly not lit in the way you're talking about it. However, it is lit as in there are some lights, as Waterdeep does have a sewer team known as the Poo Patrol on occasion. And so there are some lights just here and some torches that kind of flicker every now and then.
You really don't mix up those two kids' cartoons. Like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
so I'll take a quick look around. Is there any indication down here of maybe somebody being down here recently? Like, how many ways are there possible for us to go down here?
You go down, and after a while, the tunnel splits three directions. You sort of have a northwest, a north, and a northeast.
They mentioned flowery footprints leaving the scene of the bakery, tracking them all the way here. Are there any other gummy flower footprints that might be around towards any of the tunnel? Look, it's flour. It's what it does.
Yeah.
Leading towards any of the tunnels?
Sure, give me a survival check.
Does it need more light? Because if it needs more light, I can make it brighter.
Oh my entire god. Well, that's a 1. So
You rolled a 1?
That's a 1.
All right. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. We have something for this.
No, don't go anywhere. No.
No. Hold on.
Oh wait, is it Magic 8-Ball time though?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think critical skill checks are Magic 8-Ball time.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Everyone's saying hi.
Remember,
Okay.
! Game changers for ways that you can affect the game and donate to a great cause.
And help us because
Yes, please.
Please help us.
Please help us. Yeah.
Exclamation
we
point
need the
donate
help.
if you want the link. Let's raise some funds for Jasper's game day, y'all.
So
Mhm.
you rolled a 1 on the skill check. That means I consult my magic 8-ball. Whatever it says, you believe to be true. Could even be right. Who knows?
Oh no.
I would also point out at this point that Lady Luck has very kindly given us all this advantage.
All of us?
All of us.
All of us.
All of us.
Thanks.
Thank
But
you, Mandy.
I also have advantage, so that just cancels out now.
Thanks.
So my sources say no. You do not find any footprints. Thus the 8-ball has spoken.
Anyone choices?
Orvin is currently attempting to keep on points, like he's doing the dance of the sewage scum fairy, and looks useless otherwise.
Can I roll like an investigation check or anything? Or if I light it up, will we be able to see better?
Yeah. You know,
I'll hit the top of my bow,
Sylvester's
which
kind
is
of
like over my
looking
head
around.
and touched it.
and you can do an investigation check. Sure.
Okay.
Just
And
to-
I'll add extra light so that we can actually see, and I'll light up the top of my bow. It's a thing I can do. Investigation, where are you? Well, I have no bonuses to this. This could be very bad. Oh, that was very bad. That was very bad.
All right.
You don't apparently have to donate to charity to give us disadvantage.
We could
I
just,
just
give
need
it to
everyone-
ourselves.
Honestly, just donate to charity. Exclamation point, donate in chat.
So describe to me what you are looking for.
I was looking for like either flowery footprints or smudges on the wall where like somebody was very recently gone through there.
Oh, ask again later. So you get to roll later at disadvantage.
Okay. That's two disadvantages for me then.
Oh dear.
Anyone else want to try, or do you just want to pick a tunnel and
I
go?
will say, in absence of any solid proposal, when
Go
faced with
left.
multiple options, straight down the middle.
Or that.
All right.
Also, and Ty will very confidently just stride forward, but before doing so, we'll kind of crouch down a bit and go, "Hey, Orvin, if you're going to be all precious about it, hop on, I'll give you a ride." Just all right, is now carrying Orvin like a backpack
Awesome.
and strides off straight down the middle path.
If you make it like a baby Bjorn, I'll give you advantage.
I will absolutely make it like a baby Bjorn.
I'll hand him my cloak out of my bag, my good cloak to do it. because it'll
I can
hold
only
him.
imagine sustained eye contact with Orvin through this entire thing now is going to be amazing.
So out of my bag, I pull this beautiful, beautiful wool cloak, like super long, and hand it to him. Go, here, this will help strap him on better so you don't lose him.
Cheers, appreciate that.
This is how
I
we lost
said
George
what
Michael.
I said.
Are you feeling well and truly strapped on, Orvin?
I am.
All right then.
Baby Bjorn it is.
Excellent.
L on Z.
All right. you start to head north down the tunnel, and it's still fairly well lit. This seems like a place that gets maintained regularly, as the lights haven't burned out yet, and you continue on, and everyone can roll me a perception check.
Oh, I'm much better at perception than I am at investigations, so maybe.
And
Something.
if anyone has
Oh,
disadvantage,
you have to be fucking kidding me. I rolled a 2 plus 5 for 7.
19 minus 1, so 18.
22.
Okay, remember we all have disadvantage. So
With disadvantage.
Oh, sorry, one more. Hold on.
Right.
So,
oh God, yeah, that's a 20, so that it's a 15.
Okay.
I had
Oh, well, there's
advantage,
my 16, so it's a 7 still.
and disadvantage.
Yeah.
And this character build always rolls perception with advantage.
All right. Excellent.
With disadvantage, I rolled a 5 minus 1, so 4.
All right. So anyone above a 12. All right. So as you continue north, you hear now bending around, and to your east, you hear splashing sounds.
Does anyone else hear that? Does the splishy splash?
Hear what?
They're splashing up ahead.
Yes, I do hear it. Let's try and keep the voices down, just in case it's an echo. Because if we hear that, they may hear us.
They're splashing up ahead.
Yeah, splashing down in the sewer. No matter what it is, it's not good. Is it coming from further down this path or from a branch? Like, which direction is the splashing?
That way.
Yeah, you would have to continue east. You can continue north, or you can split off to your east now for the splashing.
Well, there is a possibility it's who we're chasing down, so we should probably at least check it out.
Yeah.
Fair.
I will ensure that Orvin is appropriately secured and start sneaking my way towards the splashing sound.
We're stealthing, right?
I'm just trying to avoid puddles, so yeah, I just, yeah.
And Zero, you have been given inspiration. All right.
Yeah, I guess we're sneaking down this tunnel headed east now as opposed to north.
All right. So if everyone's stealthing, I need a group stealth check.
With disadvantage, because I still have a disadvantage, right? Hello, doggo.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have my mouse, please? Thank you.
Would you still like me to roll while I'm being carried?
Yes, as you may make some sort of noise or surprise sound and just ruin it for the whole group.
Oh, yeah.
A 13.
Oh, it's a 10.
15 with disadvantage.
13, 15, 10.
Can we at least get a modifier because we're all trying to do it like Scooby style together, sneaky?
As long as most of you pass, it'll work. It's a group check. All right. Let's see here. Who does it? 13. Okay. All right. Good enough. As you approach and hear the splashing, you see 3 kobolds just having a great time in the sewer, and they're throwing little bits of dough back and forth to each other. There's a discarded trench coat over to the side.
We are certain it's dough, right? Like it is dough that they are throwing.
There could be other thing mixed in. They are in the sewer, and it kind of falls in the water every now and then. They're just passing it back and forth.
Is it like a human size trench coat or merely the size of 3 kobolds?
it looks like they could use one more kobold to really fill out that coat, but there's 3 of them at least here. With slightly large trench
Do
coat.
I recognize these kobolds?
You do.
Of course, y'all.
You all right there, Sigrid?
No. And I pull out my bow. That's gonna be the little fuckers right there.
What's happening?
What's going on?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Sigrid, not that I don't appreciate the energy. Actually, stay on that level. That's really good. That is like wonderful. But why are we going to attack those kobolds tossing around some what we hope is dough?
Stop right there.
This just
And they will
escalated
know
very
exactly
quickly.
who I am too.
And
I think we just let her work this
I'm
out.
just gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
And as you say that, the one just throws the ball, and instead of catching, the one turns and it just hits the other one in the side of the face, and just kind of sticks to the side of their face.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh.
It took 3 weeks to get all that mayonnaise out of my hair, you little fuckers. Which one of you stole from the bakery?
Did we steal from a bakery? No. No.
Where'd you get the dough?
We found some flour, mix it with the this here, the whatever's in the sewer water, and just made a ball.
Where'd you get the flour?
We just followed some tracks.
Where are the tracks leading?
Well, there was more down there. We're gonna wonder if we could do like a snowman, but out of these little balls we're making.
A dough man. I like it.
Yeah, sewer water flour.
Where's the jug?
And then they all kind of panic, like, we don't know. Don't hurt us.
Show us where these tracks go.
And they point off further down this section of tunnel.
Start walking. I'm gonna make them take us if I gotta shoot every little one of those little bastards.
So they get on top of each other and put the trench coat over the 3 of them, which is slightly large and looks like one more should be in there. And they move forward all as one unit.
And I'll keep my bow trained on them and follow.
I appreciate this in-world advertising for Papa John's. Please continue.
Oh.
I don't like it. I also kind of love it, but I don't like it.
Better ingredients.
I will follow the kobolds and make sure that they do not step one toe out of line or they're getting shot in the ass with an arrow.
We'll follow behind, keeping a reasonable distance behind Sigrid at this point, who is scaring the absolute crap out of Ty.
Sylvester is following really closely behind Sigrid because he is living for this drama.
I am snug and safe under the
I had
giant
to fight
hat.
a mayonnaise kraken. These little shits need to take us to where we need to go, or they're going to join the sewer rats permanently. This is their one chance at redemption.
So they continue on, and eventually in the sewers they look over, and there's a marking on the wall of it's a yellow circle with 8 spiral kind of spikes coming out of it that all end in circles. It kind of looks like a sun, but it looks like those might be eyes, meant to be eyes in this painting. And they're like, oh, not that way. And they avoid it, and they go the other direction. And you can clearly see that there's flower prints going in the direction of the where they don't want to go, and they're just walking the other way because they don't want to go that way anymore.
Being a notorious pirate and therefore relatively acquainted with the underground in the city, would Ty recognize this symbol?
Oh yeah, this is how the Xanathar marks his territory in the source.
Yep. Right. Well, this just took a significant turn for the worst.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, it would appear that our Goodberry extract thief is working for the Xanthar.
Welp.
Oh,
I'm now in more trouble than those kobolds are. I think we should probably let them go. But if I see them again, we're gonna have problems.
One
3 weeks
before
of washing my hair every day.
Yeah, everything you hear about mayonnaise. But they found the flour down there.
I think they've been picking up the little bits from the footprints and mixing it with the sewer water to make dough all the way through the sewers since he came down here.
Yeah, I think somebody taught them the recipe for crepes and they really misheard it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just. Last I heard, the Xanathar didn't have feet.
Yeah, we think this guy's probably going to assume they're working for him, and I'm now in more trouble than the.
Have you already had encounters with the guild?
I mean, we still. It's a thing.
Right, that's a yes. Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, who hasn't? It
has to do with a goldfish. It was a lot.
You know what? The less I know about that, the happier I'm going to be.
Oh, okay. If it's the Xanathar, you should probably put me down and let me have walkies.
As you wish. I will carefully undo the Orvin Bjorn and allow him to.
I honestly always thought that Xanathar goldfish story was made up, personally, but okay.
It was until it wasn't.
So
I'll just take my cloak back, fold it up, put it back in my pack.
The flowered footprints are clearly leading into Xanathar territory.
Yes.
Okay. Well, from what I do know of Skullport, at the very least, it's cleaner than here and now. So maybe we won't have to go too far into Xanathar territory.
There's a possibility. I mean, if this is indeed leading us towards Skullport direction, there's a possibility we might wind up encountering people who I've had dealings with. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on who the specific person is and what I've nicked from them. But I'm a little. How likely are they to recognize you, Sigrid?
I mean, I don't really know how recognizable I'm going to be. I had a disguise on, but it could be a thing if they could see through it. So I don't know. We stole a goldfish. It might have actually been Xanathar's, but we're not really sure. It's a thing. That was a while ago before the mayonnaise thing. Yeah, I've had a weird few months, y'all.
Yeah, you've had a time of it, haven't you? It's well.
So Sigrid, just roll a performance check and let's see how good this disguise was.
Oh boy.
Not too bad. It was an 18.
All right.
Hey.
Excellent.
And remind me, there was a doorway, you said, or a
no,
passage?
it was just the tunnel continued this direction, tunnel, right. But it was marking you're entering Xanathar territory now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
gotcha. Well, we don't really have a lot of choice.
And we've come this far. Oh,
all right. And
I always put another disguise on. It's not that difficult. So
that's probably a very good idea. And at least if we go this way, we don't have to wade back through the sewer. Well,
following y'all.
Onward.
All right.
And Ty will once again confidently stride forward.
And as you had been talking and everything, the kobolds just kept walking their direction this whole time, not changing, not looking back, not doing anything. They just kept walking their way. And, all right. So you decide to take the path into Xanathar territory.
Aye, aye.
And you walk in here, and you're actually in a section where the water isn't really running down the middle. This is more of just a kind of a regular tunnel, so it's fairly dry here. Mostly the walls might be a bit moist, but other than that, you can keep going. There's some mold and slime and stuff along there.
Yeah, maybe we don't touch the walls.
That's probably a very good idea.
Start prestidigitation on everyone to get all the uck off.
Snozzberries do not taste like snozzberries.
Don't taste the walls.
And does anyone lick the wall?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
All
No.
right.
Sig has done some shit. She has more self-respect than that.
So, Captain, as you are first, I need you to roll me a perception check.
Cool. This is going to go super well for everyone. That is going to be a nat 20. So
Excellent.
19.
All right. Before you step on it, you notice that you're about to touch a pressure plate.
Oh, all right. We are approaching traps. We have traps, everyone, people. There is stuff on the floor that is not the unpleasantness that has been there this entire time through. I want to take a quick glance around. Can I see what the pressure plate might set off?
Upon looking closer, you see little holes in the side of the walls, and can guess some sort of bolt or arrow might shoot out at you. And it goes down for like 20 feet.
Right. Yeah, that is remarkably unpleasant.
Is there a counter plate or mechanism to turn it off?
Is the plate ahead of the what's this what's the distance between the plate and the holes in the wall?
So the first set of holes is immediately if you would to step on the plate.
Right. Okay. Then.
And then if you try to run, they want to try to get you, even if you're running. That's why it goes down so far. So.
Gotcha. Then what I will do is step back a few feet and using my sword, try to deliberately trigger the pressure plate, standing out of the way of the holes.
Okay.
Did we check to make sure there was none going back so you didn't run away?
I absolutely did not check that.
He's a professional. I'm sure he totally didn't check.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. So you do that. And then 20 feet down, both sides, there's just bolts coming out and going into the walls on the other side. And then you hear a clicking sound, and then more bolts come out. And it does this one more time. So it'd be 3 rounds of bolts you would have to have run through.
Damn.
That seems excessive. Once it's run through that, I want to trigger the pressure plate again.
Okay.
See if it reloads.
You just hear a clicking sound, like it's trying to go off, but there's no more ammo.
Good news, it does not. Somebody's got to come reset it. So,
Okay.
We've triggered it. Now, do you think someone knows we're here?
My general assumption with things like this is they already know we're here.
Now, do
If
the
not-
footprints miss this, or do they just keep going? Like, was he able to avoid it, or she?
Yeah,
they?
the footprints appear to. You can see a pair of footprints that just miss this plate and walk around it. a flower.
I'm going to say we probably follow the footprints because whoever it was avoided the
Aye.
trap, so they probably know where they are.
Oh, they got really lucky.
Possible.
Let's proceed. And this time now, leading the way, Ty will be going a bit slower and keeping a deliberate eye out for anything else that looks trapped.
Okay. As you proceed down, you see something ahead of you. It looks like it's floating, and there seems to be a couple of them. They're tiny, so they're hard to see, but there's still some light here, and you're able to pick them out. And they have what look like at this distance 4 little stalks coming out of their head.
There's Anna babies.
And now you see 3, 4 of them.
Sigrid, do you think you can take them out from over here?
Maybe. How far apart are they?
They are about 5 feet apart. It looks like they were conferring on something, so they're.
Is there any way for me to move in this hallway where I can get them in a straight line?
They are in a circle, so.
So no, I might be able to get like 2.
Yeah, you could definitely shoot.
I can probably get 2. I don't know how much damage I can do to them in one shot, but I can try.
Right, so we've got 2 courses of action then. We can either, actually 3. We can try and sneak past, we can try and get the jump on them, or we can make a distraction and leg it.
Well, if there's a trap and we're legging it, could be real bad.
I'm definitely not a stealth guy. So sorry.
Sylvester, what about you?
Oh, goodness. I mean, you don't think we could talk our way through?
We might be able to talk our way through. I also have a net if we want to try to trap them. You just throw a net over the top of them.
Because they're small, floaty. What's now?
Yeah, you'd have to get closer to see all their details, but they look like small floaty balls with 4 stalks coming out of their head. They are tiny.
If I hit them just right, could I get a net over all 4 of them at one time?
Yes.
It doesn't say how big the nets are, so that's a DM decision.
Yes, I would let that happen. Yes.
I can throw a net over the top of them and pin them all down.
What would you use to do that?
A net. It's an actual ranged weapon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd make a ranged attack roll, basically.
And I'm pretty good with it, so.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
I got to get closer. You'll have to let me sneak up.
Good luck.
Other option, we could try and, like Sylvester said, we could try and talk away past, and if that goes horribly, slinging that at them.
Could do that too.
Do they speak common?
I don't even know if they have mouths.
Oh dear.
I was really wondering if maybe the talking is just a distraction, and then perhaps Sigrid prepares her shot.
Okay, if it's a distraction we want, I can take care of a distraction. How far away are they at this point?
They are about 80 feet up.
Got to be much closer than that.
Yeah. How close do you have to be for the net?
Within 15 feet.
Right.
Captain, give me a history check because you are likely to have heard of this creature.
That I'm actually really good at. Not going to roll a 4 though, so that's a total of 9.
Yeah, you're going through your catalog in your brain and just 4 things with little spikes coming out of their heads. Sure.
Yeah. Floating things are never good. Right. Well, sitting around here ain't going to get us nowhere. So, if I can get within 30 feet of them, I can give us a distraction. Might let Sigrid get the rest of the way for the net.
Ask to talk to their leader.
I mean, I've not got a better idea. Let's go with it. We'll start moving forward.
All right.
I'm going to hang way back.
Not trying to be stealthy.
Very sneaky, as far back from everybody as possible.
Wait, I've got another idea. Before I do that, let me just make sure I've got some.
And how far away? How far away are they?
80 feet.
You got an idea?
I do. Let's see. They are. Can we from here? I know they're like now in my head I'm doing distance. They're far away. Can we see if there's anything beyond them? Like it just seems like it goes on beyond them, or
it goes beyond them. You can't really make out too much detail. They're kind of right at that edge of what you can comfortably see. It just seems like more tunnel beyond them, most likely.
Yeah. Okay. Then if we're going to try to get in closer, I think Sylvester's going to want to cast dancing lights beyond the thingies. Basically, that's a distraction. Is essentially if we're on one side of them, he's going to put the lights on the other side of them to at least try to get them to notice that more than us.
All right. And how close do you have to be to your target?
It's a range of 120 feet.
Okay, so you have plenty of range to do this in.
Yeah, and it is essentially, they're going to act a bit like will-o'-the-wisps. They are going to move. They're going to kind of move in a bit of a pattern, and then not a pattern, just enough to catch the eye, or depending on what we're dealing with, in this case, eyes, and try to attract their attention while we at least move more into range.
All right. Let's make this interesting and give me a performance check. To see how well your pattern and weaving it in and out goes.
Of course, that's my best. 16.
16. All right. Fail. All right. They all go after your lights. They just seem distracted and they all start looking at them.
I'm going to sneak up behind them and as close as I can get to them and chuck my net.
All right. Give me a stealth check just to make sure you basically don't fail and trip over something weird or anything like that.
18.
Yep, that's playing fine. Okay.
All right. So this is an attack roll. There's not a DC for it.
Okay.
Do I have to roll it 4 times or do I just roll
it once and the net will cover? I mean, they're tiny, so I'm going to let the net cover all of them.
That'll be a 24.
All right. Yeah. I'm
very good with it.
It falls on them, and let me just check something. Yeah, you cover all of them, and they all kind of go down, but one noticing you turns, and it's struggling, but it does get a ray to fire off at you. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 12, as a ray comes out of what you can clearly now see are little eye stalks. And there's a floating mouth here.
That's an 8, and I have a +6 on my death. We
have been betrayed by these dice tonight.
Wow.
All right.
I have a +6 to my dex saves.
A ray of frost comes and hits you for 10 points of damage.
Brr.
Oh.
And the others are struggling to get out of your net and everything. But this one just happened to be positioned just right, and he can still see and is still looking at y'all. And we can roll initiative for this one as he's struggling, but.
Oh, sure. Now I roll it in 19.
All right.
I hate this for me. I hate this for me.
All right.
Samesies.
Yep. The worst thing, I have advantage on rolling initiative. I rolled 2 3s.
Wow.
Captain, you are first.
All right. How far away are we at this point?
You can walk up to him at this point. I'll say with everything that's going on, you'll
then
the net. And
yep,
everything.
I am absolutely going to do that. I'm going to walk up, and the one that just fired at Sigrid is going to try to take a rapier through the eyeball.
Okay.
And so that is going to be. Would this be with advantage or anything because it's restrained?
Yes, advantage.
Good. All right, so 13 and yeah, so that's going to be 18 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
All right, and that will be then 8, including the mighty 3 sneak attack damage.
Okay, it's very hurt. You've kind of cut off an eye stalk and too, and it's just like. Ah! Anything else?
That I will then just kind of step to the side and gesture to Sigrid, like, by all means, take your revenge.
And Sigrid, it is your turn.
I'm just going to pop it in the eye with my bow. I'm just going to shoot an arrow right at it. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
It takes 12 points of damage.
Okay. Your arrow goes right through its center eye and just makes it explode in eyeball pus and goo.
Gross. Again, prestidigitation. Everyone is not clean.
Sort of now glad Orvin's last because we are way like, oh no.
All right. The gazers get to go. Let's see if they can get out of this net situation. No. Nope. No. All right. So they are still all in the net. So we are right to Orvin.
Okay, I am going to. You're still covered with muck, aren't you, Sigrid?
No, I prestidigitation.
Okay.
I can cast it at will. Sigrid has a thing with being dirty.
Orvin's gonna come up behind Sigrid to make sure Sigrid is between him and whatever the fuck these things are, and is going to touch the back of her calf and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Oh, right. Yay.
And that is 9 points back to you.
Awesome. And I only took 10, so I'm only down a hit point. It's a scratch. I'm fine.
All right. And where did that tab go? There it is. That leaves Sylvester.
Yeah, Sylvester's gonna come a little bit closer, but he's gonna look at basically one of the gazers and cast Vicious Mockery.
Mm-hmm.
Although in this case, it's more like vicious disappointment. It's like normally it's insults, but from Sylvester, it's much just more like you're ruining someone's birthday party. Do you understand how horrible that is? I don't know what you are, gazer, as a person, if you call yourself a person, but birthdays are special and they should be cherished. And they need to make a wisdom save of 18.
All right. Let's see here. We'll target this one. Wisdom save, eh? Well, I rolled a nat 1 on that. So why don't you roll double damage?
These are very important, is all I'm going to say. So if I roll it as crit damage, that will do double?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of die. Oh, that's that's gonna be 11 psychic. Yeah, 11 psychic damage.
All right. I'll tell you what. This one, you may feel bad about itself, and it just collapses over.
As well it should. Birthdays. I'm just saying birthdays.
All right.
I mean, it's not like, anyone here would know the importance of birthdays or anything.
Ooh.
The back to the top, which is Captain.
I don't
So
know where
there
they are in the
are-
initiative, but on their turns, they can make a DC 10 strength check to try to get out of the net.
Oh, yeah, they tried that already, and it's going to
Gotcha.
be. But
There are 2 left now, right?
yep, there's only 2 left. You can
Okay.
basically do anything you want at this point.
Yeah. Just again with the rapier, just
All right.
almost feel a little bad doing it, but not too bad because they're creepy, gross eye things. So with advantage. Okay, well, okay, so that was a 21. With
Yes.
one of them being a nat 1. Thankfully, I had the advantage on that. So, so that is gonna be including the please do better this time. Sneak attack. That's much better. 18 damage this time.
18 damage. All right. Yeah, you take care of one slice and just again some eyeball goo as you slice through the midsection, and it just.
Cool. And will you allow me then to use because I have 2 weapon fighting and the dagger to do the offhand attack against the other one?
Sure.
Do that then. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yes. That will hit.
And I don't know how to make it not roll with sneak attack. So that's 5 damage to that one.
All right. It is still up.
And that will be it for me.
All right. So Sigrid,
There's still one up, right?
there's still one left. Just barely holding on, but it's there.
I'm going to look at it and be like, I'm going to look at Sylvester, I'm going to look at the thing, and I'm going to look at Sylvester, I'm going to look at the thing, and be like, y'all really did ruin someone's birthday. And I'm very, very disappointed in all of you. And see if it does anything.
Hour of chastisement. I'm telling y'all, it's like
You talk
I
at
saw it
it.
work and I was very impressed.
You talk at it, and you realize there had been some magic in that old silk hat he found. But because he just, the gazer just looks at you confused. One of its eye stalks turns it to you and like.
I guess I'm not as good at this as you are. Sylvester, do you want to do this?
is it heaven? Go ahead.
Do you want to do anything else, Sigrid? You have your full. I'm not going to let that take. Your
Oh,
action.
okay. Well, then I would just. I thought that was going to end up being my action. I'll just take another pot shot at it with my bow.
Okay.
Oh,
Roll at advantage because it's stuck.
I rolled 2 9s. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Double. Okay. It takes 8 points of damage.
All right. And this one does the splody as well. More eye goo everywhere.
Yeah, Yeah, even Sylvester is prestidigitating now. Like this is mm-mm.
Oh, it smells like Jamba Juice.
Mm-mm.
Glare at Sirius. Like, I'm standing right here. Do you have to keep making them explode like that?
Didn't mean to, but like all else I got is like a hand axe. Could you imagine what that would do?
Well, at least then it would splatter over you and not me.
No, they're thrown axes. I'm not getting that close to something to fight. Self-preservation, it's a thing.
You can kind of watch as the realization goes over Tyrion's face that he is the only melee fighter in this group. Just his whole demeanor just kind of falls.
Yeah, have fun touching the things. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun with that. Mm-hmm.
Great. Right. Well then, well, we're definitely in it now. We just slaughtered the Xanthar's guards. So
If
Well, I
those
mean,
were his guards,
were his
they've
guards.
got real issues. Sorry. So we both try to say the exact
What
same
Sigrid
thing.
said, yeah. I mean, they didn't really seem to put up much of a fight. Admittedly,
it's more of a
we did distract them and we kind of sort of shot them in the back, which now I feel a little bit bad about, but they ruined a birthday,
Sigrid
so I feel less
starts-
bad about it, so it's okay.
Sigrid starts brushing the ice off of herself. I don't know. That kind of stung a little bit.
It's
Frostbite's not for me.
One question before we move on. I was just curious, as a point of order and planning. When were we supposed to start talking to them?
yeah, how they say like that no plan survives the first contact with an angry woman with a net.
No, they didn't teach that in seminary.
Yeah, you really want to have a word with them about that. That's a very important life lesson. They really need to teach you that one.
Okay. I will file that away. Sorry, he's whispering to the gazers. Good.
Yeah, the talking thing went out the window when they hit me with something that tried to kill me.
Oh, but you're good now.
I'm good now.
Okay.
That was very cold in a lot of ways. That stung quite a bit.
Is there anything or anyone else that, like, basically the area that we stopped in, is there any other kind of discernible exit, or again, do we see any more telltale signs of flowery footprints? This person must have also grabbed a 15-pound bag of flour when they stole the good berry vial, because we appreciate the entire trail.
It's a flower
Strong too,
element.
like just like, okay, let's like firemen's carry some flour with them. Okay.
Make a survival check to see if you can pick up the trail again.
Oh gosh, I don't do survival. Or maybe I do. That's a dirty 20.
All right.
Nice.
So, yeah, the footprints are starting to fade, but if you figure if you continue this way past the gazers, you'll be going the right direction for a while at least.
Clearly, this thief shops at Costco, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Are these also dimly lit? The passageway is still dimly lit, like the rest of the sewers.
This is lit up a little more. You can actually see quite nicely in here. It's like the Xanthar Guild wants to see where they're going.
Uh-oh. Well, it seems like that way is still the best way to go if we're trying to find our goodberry extract thief. Sorry, frosting phantom.
The Frosting Phantom, that was it. The Frosting Phantom.
Right.
That was the one.
yeah,
right.
the great value buttercream bandit.
I think that's like when you order the buttercream bandit using the wish spell, then you get the frosting phantom.
That's it. That's the joke. Round of applause for
Tune in soon. I'll be writing the new Paladin subclass, Oath of the Pillsbury Doughboy. Let's do this.
So we should go that way, but perhaps a little more carefully.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a plan just in case, because if that was the early warning system, we might run into something else nasty. So give me just a moment, and he's going to pull out a tinderbox from his thing, and Orvin, give me your arm real quick. Don't worry. It's going to be fine.
What? No.
Your arm.
No,
I'm not going to
no.
burn you. It's fine. No, I'm going to draw
What?
on you.
Why? Why
I'm
are we
gonna draw
doing
on
this?
you. 'Cause I'm drawing on myself too. Here,
What
I'll
are
show
you doing? Explain this to me
Ty-
first. I have agency.
I will show you. Hold on. And Ty will dip his finger into the ash in the tinderbox and draw, like roll up his sleeve and draw on the inside of his wrist the Xanthar symbol.
Oh.
Right.
Orvin
And so I'm going to do a similar thing for you. Now, I'm going to do something similar for you, but slightly different.
Wow.
And so it'll be a similar symbol. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
And if Orvin offers his arm,
Yes.
okay, on Orvin's arm, Ty will draw what looks like a winged snake.
Cool.
It's
What's
very
this for?
cool. That is, if anyone encounters us, I've captured you. And you're a rival guild spy.
Oh, I heard you're supposed to be jumped into a gang. I like this better.
Yeah, I don't like anything that leaves permanent marks.
Okay.
I don't like it.
And then Sylvester's looking at this happening and then looking at Sigrid and then looking back to Tyrion like,
They get tattoos as well.
I mean, if you want, I'm happy to draw them on you as well.
fuck it, I don't have a better plan. I'm sorry.
How many times have I cussed this far so far this stream? It's fine. Hold on. I have eyeliner. I can do this too. And I'll draw the Xanathar. I will draw the Xanathar symbol on Sylvester for him.
I'm going to
Sylvester,
actually no, you know what? I'm honestly after seeing the Xanathar symbol on the kind of this passageway as we went down, Sylvester kind of thinks about it and he does a bit of a flourish with his arm and he just looks at it and that's what he's going to use prestidigitation for. He's going to make a symbol appear on himself that matches.
Oh, can I get one after we finish this that says clerics do it blessed? I think that would be cool.
You know what, 100 gold can get you a lot of body adornment. So I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
I am going to say you should
perhaps
probably
under a sleeve.
think that through.
Yeah.
Hashtag blessed, y'all.
Sylvester, I really like your style. Can I borrow it?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I'm going to pull my little hat of disguise out and it looks like a little tiara and I'm going to put it on. And now all of a sudden there is a femme version of Sylvester. Look, we're twins.
Okay.
More pinks and
But
purples.
they're going to figure it out when we start to dance is all I'm going to say.
Probably.
I'm not saying that there will be dancing, but I really hope that there will be dancing is all
I'm not the musical twin.
What are we here for? Are we here for something?
Juice.
I don't know.
Very
We're like putting designs on ourselves and like changing
Juice.
clothes. This
Yeah,
is not
we just
a
we're
lot
getting
more
ready
fun
for
than I
the
thought our
party.
day was
We
going to
just
go
have to
out.
get-
I know,
Yeah.
but I thought we were here for something about a cake.
Yeah, this is a real love-in now. We're drawing flowers and shit. I mean, I'm good
Yeah,
with
no,
it.
we're
but
getting ready for the party. And
Right.
while we're getting ready for the party, we're going to get the last ingredients needed to bake the cake for the party. It's just
Right.
working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, we have to go get the cake, and then we have to have a series of increasingly unlikely but comedic misadventures on our way to deliver the cake to the party.
Something like that, yeah.
Goodness, no. I hope he makes 5 extra cakes because we're gonna like trip with it like at least 3 times.
at least.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've watched those baking competitions. It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Great Favorite
Sorry.
Bake Off. That's a favorite of mine.
Sorry, DC, did you actually want to stop us? At any point?
No.
We're just gonna keep riffing this whole time.
Hey, DC.
Hi. You guys are doing great. Love it.
Yeah,
Just waiting
Gremlins
for you to
attack.
tell me that you continue on. So,
Now we're appropriately marked up for the guild, and
Yeah.
Orvin is masquerading as our is our prisoner this evening.
All right. So you continue on down the hall. It kind of twists and turns a little bit. And eventually you get in front of the thing that terrifies all adventurers. A door. And that's where we'll take our break.
Oh,
thank
yeah, the
God.
nice one a bit.
I thought it was going to be a chair. Woo! All right.
Woo!
So, we'll take a break for a little bit.
Schedule.
Oh, that is not
Jasper,
okay.
how dare
That
you.
is-
How
no.
dare you.
Jasper,
I would
Jasper,
rather
if you're gonna
face
come for my
TM up in a
neck,
schedule.
give me a rub first. Gonna come for the neck, massage first. I said what I said, pirate.
So, we are going to go
Oh.
on break about 10, maybe 15. I don't know. But I'm going to do our first giveaway as soon as I put up the break screens and get that going. And remember, you can donate. And thank you. We are already at $340 out of our $500 goal. Thank you so
Woo!
much. Help us
Yeah, I
get the
just
rest of
noticed
the way
that
there.
additional disadvantage for all. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's
Lady
What?
Luck did it again.
Again?
again.
What?
Oh, no, sorry, that's top donor. I
Yeah,
misread
that's
it.
top donor. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Advantage to Panda, though.
my
That's
kid,
me, right.
my kid gave me advantage,
Oh,
Aw. So
just in case we need it later.
we're going to take a break. You
We don't
can
need it.
check out the donation incentives that I just posted in chat. If you want to mess with any of us, you can, give me disadvantage or have me roll a wild magic surge. So, and once again, Alchemical Mix is, I have made a table of potions, and I will roll and select 2 of them, and whatever mix comes up is what will rain down upon the party.
I mean, it's potion mixology, so I'm kind of here for that, but I'm also slightly terrified of that. So,
So,
That
yeah.
too.
It'll be great. So we'll take a break. Be right back. Thank you for staying with us, and see you soon.
SAIR.
And welcome back, everybody, to an excellent round of subtitles. I'm sure. So yeah, thank you for sticking with us. Once again, we have a giveaway going for. I have 3 codes for a set of digital dice of heroism on D&D Beyond. The code word is !IGOO. So just put it on in there, and magic will happen.
Don't put it on in there. Don't
No,
put it on in there.
no.
Just type it in chat.
Please type it in chat.
The weirdest of Apple's latest product lines.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my gosh, a dungeon that starts in an Apple store. Hold on, I gotta add this to my
Oh.
ideas. Wait a second, I gotta write this down. Okay.
What really goes on behind those doors?
Yeah, I mean, the one in Chicago is a maze, so
It's the Wizard of Oz. That's
I mean, honestly, imagine like Apple would make a mimic, but wouldn't even try to disguise it because they would want you to be so impressed with the design of their mimic that they'd be like, "No, it's the eye mimic. We're not even pretending. It can't take any other shape. It's just that one. We worked very hard on it."
Exclamation mark donate to contribute to this worthy cause.
that's right. We're playing for Jasper's Game Day, so please donate. There are incentives. And let me put that in chat. And yeah, so you can mess with me or any one of the players. We've already had advantage, disadvantage, and a wild magic surge. So please keep those donations going. We are at $340 on a $500 goal. So keep it on going, and thank you so far for all the donations. I appreciate it. And when last we left, our party was at a door in the sewers. What
Or
would you like
anything
to do?
significant about the door?
It's wooden. There's a knob.
I will attempt to open the door.
I will get the hell out of the way.
I'm gonna
Yep.
let Tyrion attempt to open the door.
It's a door. What could go wrong?
Give me a
Literally
dexterity saving
everything.
throw.
I'm sorry,
What
what?
was that?
A dexterity saving throw, please, as you open the door.
Sure. I'm actually really good at those. Not when I roll a 2. That's a 7.
Wow, that sounds familiar.
So, yeah, you do not dodge out of the way. As, almost in a comedic-like fashion, if it didn't burn so much, you have a bucket of acid going down on your head.
Oh no.
Tyrion, wait, you might want to.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We all just see this happen in
Oh.
slow motion, like no.
Yep.
You take 8 points of acid damage.
Prestidigitation.
Can someone tell him off, please?
Prestidigitation, because I ain't touching none of that. That looked like it hurt.
Oh. Yeah. It hurt. All right. He
Oh,
most
Tingle
important.
usually
most
means it's
important
working.
thing.
Side note: is the door now open?
Yes, and there are 3 people in this room. There is one wearing a classic theater mask, and 2 halflings next to him, and the one halfling says, "Told you it would work," and the other one said, "I didn't think anyone would fall for that," and they giggle and laugh.
Before I do anything else,
Mhm.
I check my hat.
Is your hat resistant to acid?
It is not.
It has melted slightly in places.
I cast
Oh.
mending.
Ooh.
Maybe that flower looks, or that feather looks real bad.
No, I cast
Who
mending.
is which is the closest halfling?
The one laughing is just slightly closer. They're kind of having conversation right next to each other, but it's maybe off by a step. Step.
Cool. I take a run into the room and football punt him straight in the head.
Okay. Roll a
Yelling,
here.
I love
Orvin.
that hat.
This is also, I know that Tyrion is talking, Orvin, but this is also not how you talk first. I just want to make it clear. This is not how you talk first.
Thank you. Thank you. He actually takes out a notebook and writes that down.
Let's call it.
See, and y'all thought that I was bad with the kobolds. I didn't hit first.
I mean, to be fair,
This.
they fucked up the man's hat.
They did.
There's a lie.
Who?
I'm assuming we're rolling initiative.
Oh, sorry, we're rolling initiative, aren't we?
Oh,
No,
right,
right now, just pirate. I need you to roll me an unarmed strike as you go to.
Oh, unarmed strike.
Yep.
Let me do that first. That's not all great. That's an 11.
All right. Well, you kick him and he goes tumbling down. And the guy next to him screams, "Ganache, no!" And he attempts to rush at you. Now we can all roll initiative.
All right, that's going to be a 23.
Whoa!
Okay.
It's a nat 20 on initiative. It's the only time I
Very
apparently get to roll
nice.
them.
That's an 8, which tracks because I was hanging so far back.
Yeah, 8.
24.
Wow.
Why is it on initiative? We've had 2 people roll really high, the same number, and 2 people roll really low, basically the same number.
Yeah. And I would expect the person playing Pele at Gnome Soccer to get a high initiative, so we're good there.
Okay.
This is all going very well.
Very, very well.
Very well.
All right.
Very well.
First up is the captain.
Right.
You have just kicked one, knocked to the ground, a halfling named Ganache.
I stare down at him and just ice cold look him dead in the eye and goes, I'm sending you straight to the Shadow Realm. And I reach inside my coat and pull out a deck of cards,
Okay.
which the draws one, which will be the 2 of diamonds, and throws it down onto the ground in front of him. Where this will be not the best result. A kobold will appear.
Oh,
All right.
An illusory kobold.
Actually, something goes slightly wrong, and this kobold appears real and familiar. Like it's one of the
I was gonna say this
ones
is the
from
perfect
the
moment.
3 coats, or one of the 3 that was in the coat is now in the room, very confused. He sees Sigrid and he runs for a corner, like ah! All right. Anything else?
I don't know that there's anything else I can do. Yeah, nothing great with a bonus action right now. So, actually, you know what I will do is I will point at the kobold that arrived in the room and use this to inspire Sigrid to rage and action and just yell, they're in league with the kobolds, get them, which will be a bardic inspiration for Sigrid.
Okay.
welcome to Harrowing Haberdashery H, starring Painting Pirate.
That's a D what? D6, D8?
Bardic inspiration is a D. That's
It's a
that's
D6
D8
for me.
Oh, 6.
No,
Sorry.
I'm only
It's-
level 1
yeah.
bard. It's my multi-class. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll have to wait to use that for a few minutes, but
Yeah. All
I'm gonna
right.
get to multi-classing one day. It sounds so fun. Okay.
All right. Then if there's nothing else, it's Sylvester's turn.
Sylvester is going to upon hearing the laughter at the acid trap, Sylvester kind of came in the room with like a slow clap and a grin on his face. Like, oh, acid over the door. That is simply so classic. Sylvester's going to cast Enthrall on creatures. I'm Ganache, the other halfling, and the drama mask.
Seems to be
And
about a 6 foot tall human
oh,
as they stand up.
Enthrall plus give me your number. I'm kidding. Size doesn't matter. So it's a wisdom saving throw of 14, and if they hold on a second, any creature that cannot be charmed succeeds automatically. If we're fighting, the creature has advantage on the save. So the one that Tyrion punted has advantage on this save, and on a failed save, the target has disadvantage on wisdom checks made to perceive any creature other than me. So essentially, I'm basically like, all eyes on me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful joke there. That was fantastic. Trying to get back to the talking part.
And are you aware of who this magic works on?
Say again?
Are you aware of who is enthralled if they become enthralled?
It actually doesn't say.
And what was the DC I had to beat?
14 wisdom.
14. All right. Well, they all succeed. So,
Well, poop. No, well, Sylvester, basically the way that he's going to continue, let me just do my little, no, not that one. Sorry, that was the wrong one to cast. He's just going to keep talking. Like the acid over the door. It was wonderful. I mean, he's down a hat, but you're up a joke. And I just want to know, has anyone seen anyone running around here with flour?
at that, you see a bag in the corner that used to have a bunch of flour in it, but now seems depleted in a way.
But that's his action, and
Okay.
yeah. Tough room. Okay. Well, all right.
Anything else you would like to do? Do you want to move anywhere within this room? There's kind of a desk and the chair that the masked person was behind, who has stood up at this
There.
point.
Is a chair.
Oh yay.
And there's kind of crates around, and you do see a small vial on this desk.
Yeah. So Sylvester will move further into the room, and upon seeing the vial, attempts to make that knowing eye contact with the rest of the members of the party. They may have no idea what he's trying to make eye contact about, but he's trying to make very meaningful eye contact with them.
All right. So, the person in the mask's turn. They go, oh, I suppose I must defend you again. And he points his finger at the captain and fires 3 magic missiles at you. Really? Oh, wow. You take
Yeah, you don't like hearing that from the DM.
That's not good.
you take a whole 5 damage as
Okay.
magic
Oh, well,
missiles
there we
fire
go.
into you.
Dice can turn on anyone, including the DM.
And then he looks over at the other halfling and he says, Glaze, you have this. And he has inspired Glaze. And it's Glaze's turn. So Glaze, noticing his partner and friend Ganache has been knocked down, is going to try to stab at the captain with a short sword. Because he's real mad. And does a 18 hit you?
Yes, 18 will.
Okay. You take another 5 damage as a short sword plunges into your side.
Oh,
Cool. I am not having a good day.
And let's see here. Next is Orvin.
All right. Orvin is going to finally scamper up to the good captain while shrieking, "Hold still, you proud ambulatory hat rack!" And cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. You get 17 points of healing done.
Nice. I am now 1 HP down.
Funny, so am I. We both have paper cuts.
All right. Anything
Yep.
else you want to do?
He's just going to try to keep his position to keep the scary things on the other side of the good captain. So he is going to hide behind the captain.
Okay. And we are to Sigrid.
How big is this room?
You got about, say, 50 feet of space.
Oh, okay. Then there's plenty of room.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Necrotic Shroud.
Tell me
So I'm
about.
going to bamf my wings out
Okay.
immediately. They need to make DC 12 charisma saving throws.
Everybody?
I think it's everybody within the room. Anyone that's within 10 feet of me. And I would try to be 10 feet, like as close to the bad guys as possible.
Okay.
Does that include us?
So
It doesn't say.
I hate the horrible question that must be asked. How big is this room?
so
My
this,
wings, I have like a
Yeah.
25-foot wingspan, so they wouldn't fit comfortably in here.
yeah, it's 50 feet.
If they're very big wings, and of course with the dragonborn thing, they look real wild because they look like dragon wings instead of my normal feathery wings, and they're all glittery instead of my normal broken, twisted, weird wings.
So
But it says once per long rest as an action, you can transform, causing all within 10 feet. And I would get as close to the bad guys as possible.
all right. So I'll let you do this. You can either get close to the two halflings, but you'll also be hitting the captain and Orvin, or you can try to get close to the main guy.
Main guy.
All right. And he's got to do a what now?
Charisma DC 12.
Okay. And what kind of effect is this?
It is. He would be frightened till the end of my next turn.
Would be frightened. Okay. I rolled an 18.
Ah, shit. All right. Well, it still lasts a minute and it does extra damage on rounds. So, boo. I can never seem to get this where somebody actually has to like get scared of me. So that's my action. What do I got for bonuses? Hold on.
All right. Oh, we got another donation in. Let me see what we have.
Thank you.
Oh, if I didn't call it out already, advantage to Panda. So yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and action surge.
Oh, disadvantage for me. Okay.
And I'm gonna
Thank
take
you,
a shot
Lauren.
at this guy.
All right.
So I'm gonna burn my action surge, and I get 2 attacks, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I have an extra attack if you take the attack action.
Yeah. So an extra attack. One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can hit him twice, or that's hit him once. I haven't gotten to play this character a ton. So
Tell you what, just go for hitting him twice.
Okay, cool.
Whether that's true or not, we'll just.
Well,
let you
that
hit him
first one's
twice.
probably not going to hit with an
So.
11, but I have advantage, so I can roll it again. Please be better than a 9. That's a natural 20.
All right.
It's for a 29, which I'm going to assume hits this dude.
Yeah.
What do you say? Let's light his ass up. So I'm going to cast this is going to be an enfeebling arrow. Actually, are they in a straight line?
No.
Like from where I'm standing, are they in a straight line, all 3 of them?
No. You could
Okay, then
probably
it's gonna
get
be
the
the enfeebling.
halflings the halflings in a straight line.
No.
But,
I'm going to use the enfeebling arrow attack. So that's going to be 8 points of piercing damage and then an additional 2 points of necrotic damage. And he needs to make a con save for DC 11.
okay. And what kind of effect is this?
It would be the damage dealt by its weapons attacks would be halved until its next turn.
Okay. But what's the damage type? Is this a charm?
This
Is
was
this,
necrotic. That one was 2d6 or was 2 points of necrotic damage.
okay,
The DC check or the skill check is to see if his damage is halved.
all right. And what was the check again? I'm sorry.
11 for a con save.
11. Okay. I rolled a 14.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. All right, well then I'm just gonna hit him again.
All right.
Oh, that's probably not gonna hit. It's a 14 hit.
A 14 does not hit, unfortunately.
I get all excited and I miss on the second shot.
All right. Anything else you can do?
Nope, that's it. That's all I can do.
All right. It's Ganash's turn.
Ganache and glaze. I cannot.
Why do I always get hungry when I play D&D? What is that about?
So Ganache stands up from being knocked down, and he's going to try to stab the captain with a short sword because he just got kicked. So
I swear, did Tyrion cast taunt before running in this room?
He did run in here and punt the dudes.
oh,
Rogue tank.
so he misses. He only got a 5. So not doing anything else this turn. All right, but we're back up to Tyrion.
All right. Well, I am still locked on to Ganache here, so I'm going to take my attacks against him.
Okay.
So, that is going to be, first of all, with the rapier, which is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yes.
And this would not be with sneak attacks. So that is going to be 6 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, with 6 points, you kind of rattle him hard, and he's already kind of not looking so great.
And then the offhand attack with the dagger, also against Ganache. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
Yep, you only need a 13 to hit these guys.
Brilliant. All right, so that is an additional 5 points of piercing damage.
All right, Ganache goes down.
I just turn to just glare down at Glaze. And just growl, I love this hat.
Glaze seems slightly concerned for his life at this point.
Well, be careful because you wouldn't want to get a runny glaze.
And that will be it for me.
All right. And Sylvester, it is your turn.
Yeah, seeing honestly that charm and conversation didn't work. He did try. He's going to turn to the masked figure who is very clearly casting, I'm just going to say it, subpar magic missiles. I don't mean anything by it. It's probably performance. You're probably nervous. It's okay. But Sylvester is whatever this is. It's time to take out the person pointing magic fingers, and he just kind of looks and focuses for a moment, inhales slightly, and he's going to use his breath weapon towards. Let's see. Yeah, he's basically, it is a cone attack, but he's kind of pointing and aiming just at this dude.
Okay.
It is a, hold on a second. I don't get to use this one very often. It's a dexterity saving of 12. So,
Okay.
we're baby dragonborn, but
Am I in it? And it's fine if I am. I don't care. I can take the hit. But
I'm unsure when you, because I'm trying to essentially. As I'm saying this, the attack is coming from my mouth, so I'm trying to kind of like, aim it, but it's still a cone.
I'll let you do that. And however, I did roll a 12.
Okay, so meat beats, which you don't want those words the other way around. So it's half as much damage. Hold on a second. Let me do that.
And what type of damage is this?
Radiant.
Radiant. Okay.
So it's as though you're being celestially smited and having your flesh and soul seared. And does it take half as much damage? It does. So let me roll this and okay, well, even with the full, it's a 3, so you can have it down to a 1 or a 2, whichever you choose.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Let's see here. One is already down. The other's not where it is. Oh, yeah. Even as the attack, as the attack dissipates around this person, barely kind of bothering them, Sylvester does say, "Did you say protect them? Are they hiring you? Are you working for them, or are they working for you? I'm really confused now about this whole situation." I realize that we're like in the middle of a fight and all, but if somebody could clear this up who's not dead, sorry, Ganache, that would be great.
All right. The person with the mask gets to go. Sigrid, how close are you to this person again? Remind me. close
I'm
did he have to
probably
be?
10 feet
feet
away,
away?
something like that. I don't
All
know.
right.
I'm right at about 10 feet
All right.
because I needed room for my bow. So, and I had to be within 10 feet. So I would
You were
say
doing a
right now.
lot. You were doing a lot right there with the hole and the, yeah. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I completely forgot the extra 5 necrotic damage from bamfing my wings out because I'm smart.
Oh, should I have
Hours,
taken
you
an
know.
extra 5?
Yeah, but it's fine if he didn't because I didn't say
Okay.
anything.
No,
It's my own
that's fine.
fault.
We can do that.
And it would be necrotic damage. So, hello, doggo. Goodbye, doggo.
Okay.
Oh,
Fine. All right.
She's not the one who's snoring. The other one's right under my desk.
Hmm.
Like my desk is vibrating because he's snoring so hard.
The person in the mask looks over at you, Sigrid, and says, "I see you're more formidable than I thought." And he points a finger. A bolt of lightning shoots out of it at you. You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
14.
14. All right. You make it. However, you will take half damage from it. Let's see here. Just a second here. Roll that. And you take, let's see here, half of 27.
So 13.
13, yeah. Go with 13. Points of
Okay.
lightning damage. And now it's Glaze's turn. He is both scared, but his friend also went down, so he's having a conflicting time right now. But he's gonna find a little bravery with himself and try to stab at the captain because, you know, it was his friend. Oh dear. I don't think an 11 hits, so
It does not.
Glaze misses. And we are to Orvin.
For movements, Orvin is going to now run up behind Sigrid.
Mhm.
For the action, we are going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. You get healed for 17.
Nice. That's all of my health back.
Bonus action, Spiritual Weapon
Excellent.
Yeah.
at 3rd level. And to match the theme, it takes the shape of a floating, glowing giant rolling pin. It is going to float over to the dude wearing the mask, aka the Jim Carrey understudy, and take a swing. So that is going to be just make a melee attack straight up.
Y'all, what I wouldn't do for
Yeah.
Zero's improv skills.
Okay. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Clear this out of the way. And going to be a total of 16 damage, bludgeoning.
Ooh, ow. Okay.
yowza.
Ouch. You, with that rolling hit of the rolling pin right in the head, you've really rocked the guy with the mask.
I hit a button. Sorry.
I was
going to
supposed
read
to be at a
something.
birthday party.
All right, Sigrid.
Okay.
Nobody is.
How close am I? Do I see the vial? Can I see the vial?
Yes, it's on the desk.
Is it? I don't know where I am in the room because aphantasia is a thing.
You are-
How close am I to it?
So you are about 10 feet away from the guy in the mask. So, if you step up
So it's like right by him.
yeah, it's right by him on the desk.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna shoot him. Okay, so I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna do a sharpshooter attack to try to get some extra damage on this.
Okay.
So do I just roll it and minus the 5 on my own because of the bonuses for the bow and all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so we roll that. Does a 14 hit?
14 is a miss.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna take my second attack and hope it
Reminder,
hits.
you have bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's right. I can use my inspiration. What's that? A D6?
Yep.
You need a 16 to hit.
Well, that was a 14, right?
Yep.
So now it's a 19 again.
All right, you hit.
So he
Hey.
takes, and I'm going to use my other arcane shot for this. So he's going to take 21 piercing damage and then take an additional 5 necrotic and then take an additional 4 necrotic.
All right. Describe the blow as you obliterate this person.
I'm just going to see the vial and be like, okay, I'm done. I would like cake now, please. And I'm just going to pull and just right between the eyes, just bank at like point blank range. I'm only 10 feet away from
Right.
this dude. And it's going to have all the like necrotic energy coming off the arrow all at once. And it's just going to go right through, like right there.
All right. So you split the mask falls away, and you see this guy. He looks exactly like the guy in the painting. And the arrow goes in his head as Franklin Ondent falls to the ground.
Wait, what's his last name?
Ondent?
I hate you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's one chef that won't be franchising.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be like, I'm just going to look at Glaze and be like, would you like any of this? See if he runs.
Glaze drops his weapon and just bolts for the door.
I will take my attack of opportunity.
Oh, yep.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's too late for that now.
Yeah.
Whatever you would like to do, you will succeed on.
God, it's going to be a 15 to hit,
Yep, that hits.
which will be 6 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, you kind of trip him up and he just falls face first onto, still alive, But yeah,
Alive and slightly skewered.
just falls face first into the floor.
Somebody want to grab the vial or you want me to grab it?
Well,
Is it clean?
I hope so.
Yes, it
also,
looks
you said
clean.
it was on a desk, right?
Yep.
I want to search the desk for
Okay.
stuff.
Can I help him?
Sure.
And give him advantage on the roll?
I'm just rifling. I'm basically
yeah.
just rifling through. Since this is the dude, I'm looking for any. I'm looking for any recipes that may be in this desk. Any papers like that.
All right. You do find a locked drawer. You pull, let you have a healing potion that was in a drawer. Just regular standard healing potion. And otherwise, there's just some papers, but there's one drawer that is locked.
Captain,
take care
how
of
do
that
you
in just
feel
a
about
moment.
hey? Oh, actually, everyone's pretty
Yeah.
fine healing wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I'm good.
I'm
so
gonna take
you
this-
said sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, please.
You said Glaze was still alive. Yeah, had
Yeah.
just been tripped.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I will, with one foot, like kind of lift his head up so he's looking up at me,
Mm-hmm.
and just say, "You run, and you tell everyone what happens when someone touches Captain Tyrion Guydal's hat."
About that time, Orvin is casting Mending on the hat, and it's fine.
And
Well, allow Glaze to flee should he choose to do so.
Glaze,
It's like it never happened.
Glaze just runs off.
We've got
And then,
everything
I
that
will
was
go
stolen from all the bakeries, minus the flour that was falling out of the bag because dude couldn't carry a sack of flour, which as a baker makes me very sad. Like how
But then
dare.
I will.
You do
I
see,
will
as
follow
Glaze runs off,
Sylvester's-
you do see a bunch of flour down his back.
I will follow Sylvester's guidance and take a look at this locked drawer that.
All right. If
Has
you're
been
going to
found.
attempt to open it, I need a sleight of hand.
Okay. Not
I
great. Remind me, it's been a while since I've actually played the rogue. Remind me how Thieves' Tools impact this. Does that just let me use proficiency on it?
Gives you an extra
Okay,
+2.
so yeah, that's going to be an 8 then.
8. Yeah, you're not getting it with this.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
I mean, I have a set of thieves' tools if you would like some assistance.
Yeah, and so Sylvester puts a hand on Tyrion's shoulder and says, I feel like you almost had it. Give it another try. And he's gonna cast. He's gonna use Enhance Ability and give him Cat's Grace to give him an advantage on dexterity checks.
All right.
And I will kind of nod to Sylvester and just kind of, right, me calm down, and I will try this again.
Can I
It,
get
it happens to 1 in 5 men. It's perfectly natural.
I'm going to leave that alone.
We'll revisit that later. Let's.
I have an analgesic cream for that.
And you can't spell analgesic without
Right, so I'm
Jesus.
focusing on this lock.
Gesic, obviously.
So roll twice with advantage. So that's going to be a 21 this time.
Oh yeah, you easily open this drawer, and in it you find kind of a large tome of paper, and it seems slightly glued together and handwritten notes. I don't know if you open it or not, but
Oh,
take it out.
absolutely. I open that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a recipe book.
Yes. I just figured.
Can any of you
since-
cook?
Well, no, but I figured since the chef we met was feeling kind of anxious and he wasn't really confident and he was feeling like he was in the shadow of this pile of what was left of him at this point. Like,
He has an arrow through the brain, so he's just falling over.
so, I mean, unless I would say if there's a recipe for shish kebab, he obviously doesn't need it because now he embodies it. But I figured we could give the recipes to the baker and maybe he might feel a little better and more confident about making this cake.
Or
That is
20
excellent
additional gold.
Oh yeah, no, we're absolutely selling it to it.
Yes. See, I paid attention.
You
attention.
did. I'm very proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at Sylvester and being like, we're just going to give it to the dude, right? Like, this wasn't that hard that we got to get 20 extra gold out of him. Like, let's make the party really good and maybe we'll just get extra cake.
The important thing is that we have the vials so we can at least get paid for that.
Right.
We should probably head back.
Yeah, let's get out of this sewer.
Please.
All right, so who has the vial?
I do.
Okay.
I think, right? I grabbed it off the desk, or did somebody else
Yeah.
grab it?
You
Not me.
grabbed it. You headed over and grabbed it and then skewered the dude.
Mandy,
Bill.
how dare.
And
Mandy, you're the best. Truly.
everyone watching, there's still plenty of time to affect the game.
Yes.
No,
Plenty of time to
how can there
affect
be
the
plenty
game
of time? We just
Plenty of time to enter the giveaways.
no, we got our objective. Oh no.
Yep.
So we're looking for $500. We're at 365. So please keep the donations coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything that's been done so far, and thank you for everyone who's followed my channel and subscribed. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, continue to donate to Jasper's Game Day. Again, if you want to do any of the donation incentives, they're right below me, or I have it posted in chat. So do the thing. Yeah.
Do the thing.
All right. So you continue on going back. Do you want to go back right now, or do you want to explore more of the sewer? I should ask. Give you the chance.
Oh,
I would want to go
I know what
back.
Orban's gonna say. Okay, like that's.
I'm good to go back and return this and attend
if there's
the fun
nothing-
party.
If there doesn't appear to be anything else in this room worth taking. Now, I know that the chef, the baker that we met did talk about other things had gone missing. So does it look like any other baking paraphernalia might be in this room aside from the vial?
Yes, you do find a fancy rolling pin. It has like jewel encrusted ends and a gold inlay around it.
Was it one of those nice marble ones?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to return that, but we're going to keep it. I'm sorry, take it. We're going to take it with us. We're going to take it with
us.
We're taking it with us. Yes. And if anything else looks like what the frantic baker mentioned might have gone missing in these thefts, although this one did seem to be a little more personal than the others, at the very least we could reunite people with their items and they wouldn't have to come down here.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you find stuff that looks more sturdy than usual and like it would be expensive, instead of the $20 bowl, that's the $80 bowl type of thing. And so you find just at least 12 different items like that.
God, it's the William Sonoma of the sewer. I love it.
This belonged to the sorceress Rachel Ray. I'm keeping this.
The way I want to make like a joke about Ina's shoes or something. Let's go. We collect everybody's stuff to return it.
Yeah.
All right. You make your way back to town. You go back into the bakery, and the baker is just thrilled to see you. He's like, "Oh, you're back. You're back. Does that mean you have it? You have it?" and he just throws a bag of money on the floor. And he's like, "Yeah." He wants the vial. Anyway, and he takes it.
Taking that. Thank you very much.
And he runs over to the baking station and just unopens the cork. And he's like, well, the seal looks a little damaged, but should be fine. And he pours it in and mixes it, and the cake begins to bake. And the party begins. Is there anything you'd like to do to prepare for the party?
So, we got a book for you. Maybe you might be interested in it.
Yeah, after watching him add extract to a completely beaten cake batter right before baking it, I am definitely giving him this cookbook.
He explains, no, you have to add this now. This is the perfect time. This is the only time.
I'm just going to say that
You might want to get rid of the painting.
you might want I feel like I know you were living in the shadow of the person who formerly owned this bakery, and we found recipes that clearly he liked. So here, and also please get rid of that painting.
Yeah, the former owner was evidently into some eyes wide shut kind of shit. So
oh no.
Make a persuasion check as you're besmirching the good name of Franklin Ondit in front of his largest fan.
I'm so glad we didn't try taking the robe off. Woo.
That is a 6.
He seems unconvinced. He looks at the book, but he's like, "Oh, you found this too?" And he almost forgets about his cake for a moment. And he's like, "This is his. This is. I can do so many things now." And he's like, "Oh, the cake, right?" And he goes back to making it, and it's obviously this. It's set up to be this layered, massive cake.
Yeah, Sylvester can't help just like, good luck with the cake. You're welcome for the book. We found it on the body of your former mentor's, chef who was trying to ruin you, but good luck with that cake and all. Bye.
Right? Like, let's go party.
I guess, yeah. God, I hope
Has it been an hour yet?
Yeah, by the time
My disguised self falls off and I'm
okay.
regular Sig again. I am no longer disco ball Sig.
So the party's starting. Some people are just starting to arrive. There's fancy carriages and dignitaries from all over Waterdeep coming in. And the food is laid out in front of you. Is there anything you would all like to do while you're all this happening? There's shrimp. There's potatoes done multiple ways. Scallop, baked, fried.
Sig wants to get like a
Anything that
big
is,
ass plate of like mashed potatoes with like extra butter.
Orvin
right.
is going to, depending on whoever is willing to listen, corner one of the partygoers and espouse the dangers of all 37 known dragon STDs and the various various ways to treat the symptoms from these 37 dragon STDs.
As a dragonborn, Sylvester is going to walk as far away from this conversation Orvin is having as possible. Go find anyone with a passing tray full of drinks and make their way to the dance floor.
And Ty is trying to find any kind of easily portable and long-lasting finger food and is secreting as many of them into his hat as he possibly can.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. And
I'm
there's roast
gonna
beef
sit there
out.
with-
There's
Gonna eat just a bowl of mashed potatoes and hang out.
And that's why it's called the Tiamat Clap. Thank you for coming to my Orvin talk. Hand sanitizer?
They take the hand sanitizer.
I'm gonna get as far away from this as possible and go watch Sylvester dance.
So Sylvester, the cake is brought out, and on the dance floor, I need you to make me a perception check.
Not a performance check.
Nope.
Oh, for fun.
7. All right. So now make a performance check to see how well you're dancing.
That's a 15.
All right, you're doing great. And you continue dancing, and you're really the only one in the vicinity that could have noticed this, but suddenly you hear a muffled "Rawr!" from the side, but you're dancing, who knows? And then you hear another one.
Can you describe the nature of the "Rawr"? Have we heard this "Rawr" before?
It sounds like a person, something happening to them.
I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Sylvester takes another look in the direction of the sound.
And you see a cake with legs and a giant mouth. And it has 2 arms. And it's grabbing people and trying to gnaw on them.
Did we just give him the tools for a sentient cake?
Well, I mean, the former chef was very clearly a magic user. And I guess I'm a little confused about the plan because he cursed the extract, but was he going to give the extract back, or was he going to make someone come and kill him for it? I'm a little thrown.
Maybe it's his one last hurrah.
You're the
He
ones
wanted
who
to
put
go
an
out
arrow
with a
through his
bang.
head, so he can't tell you anything.
I kept insisting on gluten-free, and this is why. This is what happens. Gluten-free is the way.
How big is the cake?
It has grown to be a large creature.
And what if you were someone who gave names to such things, would you call this cake?
The cake boss.
I hate it here. I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. That's it. I'm out.
Just gonna.
Just no. Mm. Mm.
Oh, chili
right.
draws. It's a buttercream frosting.
Did we get a short rest in before this?
Oh, yeah.
Cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh. All right.
This is important.
Okay.
So everyone can roll initiative. Like I said, there's still time to affect the game, everybody.
I'm just gonna say it. Fuck these dice. That would be a
great for
natural
me. I
one
got
for a
22.
5.
Oh, that's a 15.
That's
for,
my third natural one of the game.
That is an 8.
Okay, Sigrid, what did you get again?
A 5 with my natural one.
5, okay.
But it was a natural one, so whatever that does.
Gives you a 5. Let's go with the captain. What did...
I got 22 for me.
22, okay. Tyrion. All right. And Sylvester?
15.
15. All right. And Orvin?
8.
8. Right. Tyrion is first.
Hey.
They're about 20 feet away.
Kind of glancing up at this thing with the incredibly weird day that we have had thus far, in Ty's position, being kind of over listening to the incredibly awkward conversations that have been happening around Dragon STDs, we'll call out, "Don't worry, everyone. We've got this. We're going to overcook that cake because right here we have an oven that's preheated to 450 degrees." And I will cast Bardic Inspiration on Orvin.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you going to make a supersonic man out of me?
Well, it's
Exactly
definitely
what
not
I'm
going to stop you now.
Excellent.
We're having
yeah,
such a good time. We're having a ball.
Mm.
I might have at least 4 different copies of this album.
And indeed, like a rocket ship on its way to Mars, Tyrion will charge in at the cake boss
All right.
with his move. Can I close in one round?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, then we're going to make some cake pops and start trying to skewer parts of it with a rapier, which I'm sure will work somehow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is going to be awful. That's a 9 to hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a miss. You just scraped some of the buttercream frosting onto your sword.
Very dramatically, just kind of lick
It's
it off.
pretty good. I mean,
Totally meant to do that. totally meant to do
And
that.
it's poisoned.
I'm just impressed that, that's okay. Mm. Mm. Mm.
And that's me done.
All right.
Way I am so glad that I did not go buy a cake before this to sit here and eat during the stream.
Tell me about it.
It's time for the cake boss. And once again, as Tyrion charges forward in front of it,
Oh, look, our cursed food friend is here. Hello, Dimple.
Summoned by the cake boss.
it is going to attempt to grapple. So I need you to make either a Tyrion. I need you to make either a athletics check or an acrobatics check, whatever's better versus my
That will
strength
be
check.
acrobatics for me. And that's real good. That's a 23.
Oh, okay. So it misses you, as I only got a 3. It tries to grapple you, and it misses, and it's angry. So it'll take its second attack, and it reaches into itself, and it pulls out part of itself. And since this is technically a ranged attack, I will give you an attack of opportunity.
I will take it.
And yes, Dimples, the cake is moist.
That is much better. That's a 23.
All right. You slice into the cake.
That is 4 points of damage for the cake slicing.
All right.
Oh, it's bad luck. We sliced the cake before the birthday person.
And then it throws part of itself right at you. And I miss horribly. So, and a piece of cake flies by your head, hits the ground, and then it lands with a...
Are the cakes meant to do that?
All right. That's the cake boss. Now we're at Sylvester.
The cake boss, is it still essentially the same? Like, it looks like the layer cake that I do not remember the chef that we baker that we talked to, his name. Dang it.
No one's asked his name and he didn't give it.
Wow, just making it easier on yourself, DM. I see you. Okay. All right. Cool. So it's still a big layer cake,
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Sylvester, on the from the dance floor, looks at the band and says, "Don't stop playing." I mean, priorities. And as he's been dancing, like, he all of a sudden whips out his fan, aims towards the cake boss, and his fan is actually a wind fan, and he's going to cast Gust of Wind directly at the cake boss.
Okay.
This is a strength saving throw of 13, and it is a strong wind, 60 feet long, 10 feet wide, blasting basically from the fan. And Sylvester's basically like, this is a cake. It is a high tower complex layer cake. He's trying to cause some instability within this thing. Okay. And if not, push it real good backwards.
So it is a large creature, and your wind blows the other desserts right off the dessert table that this cake was near. They go flying, and since I failed, I will give advantage to the next attack because your wind knocks it off balance.
But it's still held together?
It's still mostly held together, yes.
Ew.
Part of it's kind of slid a little bit, so it looks like a hat that's just kind of...
Oh, don't say hat. Oh, don't say hat. Oh.
Touchy subject right now.
Anything else?
Let's see. I believe, is that an action? That's an action. So let me see here. Am I able to do anything else? I'm very bad with anything else questions. No, he's gonna move a little bit. He's basically gonna move towards it, having pushed it back a little bit. But yeah, he's just gonna get ready for the next whatever comes. Because
Okay.
ugh.
Orvin.
Orvin takes a single step forward.
Okay.
And the lights seem to dim as he's clearly drawing on his innate holy connection with his deity. And he stares down the cake boss and proclaims, "In the old wisdom, they said it's a piece of cake to make a pretty cake if the way is hazy. You have to do the cooking by the book. You know you can't be lazy." And he summons a spiritual weapon at 3rd level,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a giant fork.
Okay. Make that attack with the giant fork.
That is going to be an 11. Damn.
11 will miss.
That's his turn.
All right. And finally, Sigrid.
Sigrid's going to take a deep breath, put her food down. She's irritated because now she was really looking forward to cake. Now she doesn't get to eat cake. She has to kill cake, and she's irritated. So she gets up. She stands up on top of the table she's sitting at. She pulls out her bow. She's like, damn it, here we go again. And I'm going to shoot it.
All right.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, I'm gonna put some spin on it. He's gonna take 9 piercing damage, and then gonna use my arcane shot, and he's gonna take an additional 6 plus 6, so an additional 12, because I wasn't rolling 2d6 before. I was only rolling 1. It's supposed to be 2d6.
Wow.
An additional 12 necrotic damage. And then I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay. So you have taken off part of a layer already. You just blast right off of it.
Does a 14 hit?
14 is a miss. You need a 15.
Boo. Second arrow goes flying in the other direction, or in the wrong spot.
Ooh.
I like knock a cherry off and do no damage. That first one hurt pretty bad, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. That hurt a lot. Anything else?
I think that's all I can do. Wait. Bonus actions. Nope.
Okay. That's back to the top of the round. Tyrion.
All right, still engaged with the thing. Let's try and cut another slice of cake.
Okay.
So we'll go with the rapier. That is going to be awful. That is a 9 to hit.
That's a miss.
All right. So with that being thing, this is not going particularly well, but Sigrid did a lot better. So Ty is going to, for his bonus action, reach over to a nearby table and grab a tankard of whatever happens to be nearby and start stomping his foot to set a quick beat. And will break out into song, going, Laeral is the open lord, we're here for their birthday, away, need away, we'll need away, dough. The Bakers Guild have hired us to save their cakes and pastries, away, need away, we'll need away, dough. Away, need away, we'll smash this cake together, away, need away, we'll need away, dough. And that will be bardic inspiration for Sigrid.
Okay.
And you can take inspiration for yourself.
I request the Marzipan Massacre next.
Oh dear.
Alrighty.
All right. Anything else?
That is my entire turn.
And remember, you got inspiration for that.
Thank you.
All right. It's Cake Boss's turn once again.
Oh.
It is. I haven't rolled with my disadvantage yet, but I'm going to do it now as it takes its layers And it tries to just head bash you into the ground with itself. So its first attack is a natural 1. So I will let you, for this natural 1, I'll let you get a free hit on it.
Nice. I will take that. I will take that. So that is...
As it kind of meets your sword as it goes into it.
Yeah. That is an 18 to hit.
Yes.
So that is going to be 5 piercing damage.
All right.
Cakes, headbutting knives, and other bad ideas.
All right. So that didn't work. And it takes one of its fists and it kind of dips into the frosting and whips it around. And the frosting like hardens on it, and it just tries to punch you with the frosting.
Ooh.
It's been in the refrigerator for a couple of days uncovered.
Boy, you gotta leave the buttercream out to like come to like somewhat below, room temperature.
That's only a 13. Does that hit?
So 13 is my armor class. However, as a swashbuckler, I will use my defensive duelist reaction to up my AC by 3.
Okay.
So we'll just very dramatically with the rapier just deflect somehow this giant wad of hardened frosting.
All right.
Just off to the side.
And that's its 2 attacks this round. So Sylvester.
All right. After the gust of wind, Sylvester hasn't put his fan down, and he actually kind of hasn't even stopped dancing a little bit. The band has now been even more inspired by the shanty, and they're sort of taking it, and it's turning into a more dancing thing. And Sylvester just starts kind of doing the spin move a little bit forward from the dance floor, but you keep hearing him stomp his feet at random times during the spin, and he comes to not quite up to where Tyrion is, but just away, and he immediately stops spinning and does both of his feet hit the floor with this thunderous rumble, and he actually casts Thunderwave towards the cake boss, which every time I say it makes me hurt myself a little bit. So Thunderwave has a con save of 14.
Okay.
And this is another pushback attack in addition to damage.
All right. It fails.
Now it is a large creature, so the effect is that it's a 15-foot cube originating from me. So essentially, I'm just pushing this area of thunder at the cake boss. It's pushed back 10 feet and takes damage.
All right.
I'm casting this at 3rd level. So it's taking 16 points of what is that? It's like thundery damage. Thunder damage.
Okay.
And in addition to being off balance from the initial wind attack, if it's trying to make movement forward, it's having a hard time.
Okay. It is. It has been knocked 10 feet back because magic, and it was successful. So yeah, anything else you would like to do?
I don't really have anything after that I can do. And actually, sorry. I don't even have a pun for this because I'm tired and can't think this fast. But no, Sylvester looks at Orvin and says, "I promise you, we will get you all the moist towelettes we can find after this fight is done." And seeing the look on Orvin's face, knowing how excited that is, you now have a bardic inspiration, which is a 1d8.
All right. And it's Orvin's turn.
Orvin is going to take yet another step towards this criminal carnivorous cake creation from Carvel and screech, "Fork you!" and attack again with spiritual weapon.
Okay.
I'm going to add
Carvel, though.
I went for Cookie Puss. So that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And that is going to be 2d8 plus 3. Come on. That is going to be 5 points of force damage.
All right. Still a good hit. Yeah, the cake is starting to fall apart. Places. Anything else?
That'll be it.
All right, Sigrid.
Now we get rid of this thing now. So I'm just kind of vibing with the music now, dancing on the table, and I'm just gonna start firing everything I've got at this thing.
Okay.
So, and I got a good bit. Does a 17 hit?
Yes. You need a 15.
Okay. He is going to take 8 piercing damage. I'm going to burn my last shot. He's going to take 6 and then another 5. So then he's going to take 11 more necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay.
For my second shot. Oh, that's not going to hit. That's a 11. So that one misses, and then I'm going to get angry.
You still have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bardic Inspiration. That was 11, I said, right?
Yep. Need a 15.
11 plus 1 is 12. So, nope. But it was worth a try. So I'm going to action surge, and I'm going to shoot him 2 more times. First one is a 26 for 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna fire one last one. That's a 21 for 12 damage. And that's going to be my turn.
All right.
That's everything I've got to throw at him all at once.
So you throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how this cake crumbles to bits.
Yeah. I just start every arrow. I'm just knocking layers off, like layer after layer after layer after layer, watching them crumble, starting from the bottom up. I want them to just evaporate as I go.
The Gatling gun subclass is wild, y'all.
Fighters, arcane archers are wild at early levels. They level out, but early levels they're a lot of fun to play.
All right, so you hit a layer and it just explodes, and some of the people it was chewing on come out covered in frosting and cake disgust, and then another layer explodes, and they just keep going until it's just a crumbled pile of cake on the ground.
At this point, Ty, who was standing next to the cake and is at this point full finale of Ghostbusters right now, just stares back at you like, really? Did you really?
Look, he interrupted my dinner and his dance party.
You just dodge out of the way of the flying cake. I mean,
the safe word is Betty Crocker.
Not anymore, it isn't.
That's the thing with these event cakes. I mean, you build them tall and they look really amazing on the outside, and inside they're just awful. Ugh.
Yep. And the minute you cut into them, they lose all of their luster.
This is so unhygienic.
Should have just made a giant sheet cake that could feed like 500 people. I'm going to sit down and continue eating my lunch and just jam it.
Yeah, Sylvester heads back. What's the reaction of the party goers as that?
They're kind of in shock and awe, but some begin to clap because their lives are no longer in danger, and they're just happy. And the music kept going on your request, so they just keep playing. And the baker is very upset that his cake is ruined. He's like, "Why didn't you check the bottle before I poured it in?" And he's.
Why didn't you check the bottle before you
I'm
poured
afraid
it
that
in, sir?
I'm afraid that our accordance, which was a verbal agreement, in which he paid us 100 gold apiece to return a vial of good the name is Goodberry extract back to you. There was nothing about examining the bottle, confirming the contents, and honestly, you were in such a rush. Why you noticed something was wrong? You could have stopped.
You knew this was time sensitive.
Point of order. I did raise concerns about it going into the sewer. And to be fair, I serve the light, not the Food and Drug Administration.
Oh God, Waterdeep probably does have one of those.
Quick,
Let's hope they don't show up.
is Laeral Silverhand here?
That's what I've wondered.
A large fancy carriage just pulls up. Clearly, Laurel's. And out of the carriage steps a woman with long silver hair, very fine clothing. Walks up, looks around, sees the music going on, sees the exploded cake, not sure what to make of it, and just smiles at everybody, and people rush towards her, and she's just kind of being mobbed at this point. You know, people want autographs and all that type of thing. And yeah, you're left with a very sad baker. And anything else you would like to do as we close out?
Happy my goal.
Birthday!
Yeah, just takes a napkin and does the complete face cake take on Tyrion, like just wiping one eye, wiping the other, and across the mouth. You all right over there? You doing okay?
Tyrion still has our money.
What do you think I'm making sure that he's okay?
Is that's a fondant facial? We can just call it. It's a fondant facial.
Normally you have to pay extra for those.
Right?
Yeah. They ain't cheap either.
Very good
Also,
for
wash
the
your
skin.
face real good because sugar really not great for you.
Just look down at that joke. It's like, boo.
Now
Cakey.
you have spare cake in your hat.
Yeah.
Also snacks.
Yeah. That's. I've had bet. You know what? It's not the messiest 100 gold I've ever earned.
Me either, but
Yeah. I mean, cake better than mayo, right?
There are many kinds of batter. Yes.
And we are definitely the victims of an assault and battery right now.
Of an assault and batter?
I'm ready to desert you after that joke.
I hate it here.
The pun was kind of half baked, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, but come on, I still rose to the occasion.
I mean, this is really the yeast of our worries.
His humor just continues to have layers, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I still had a lot of fun tonight.
That joke was pretty sweet.
Boss cake. The cake boss was just the icing on the cake. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want a
For the
piece
record,
of this,
if I
Panda?
pun,
I mean, the thing is, you understand someone's going to have to stop us or we're going to keep going.
Yes.
See, the problem is my brain doesn't work like that because literal brain damage. I can't pun unless it's completely by accident. I can't do the off the cuff thing. So I just sit here in pain on
I'm
behalf
feeling
of
the
everyone
stare
in
from
chat.
Tuck across the ocean.
Oh,
See, Tuck, you say that, but we know you do not mean it.
But thank you all for joining us. as we finish up.
Thank you for dealing with our chaos.
Sprinkles for everybody.
Hey!
Oh, Tuck wants in the Zoom call. Y'all are in trouble
Nope.
now.
That's the real
Nope.
final boss of the
Nope.
Especially because Tuck is the baker of the group.
the only baker.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Although
Herb is
I'm
an
looking,
excellent
I'm looking at the stream and I'm looking at the goal, and I'm just wondering, like, we can continue to riff.
We
because
can.
It'd be really great if you did exclamation point. Thank you, Dasbiff, exclamation point donate, because
We're close.
any amount that goes to charity is a wonderful thing, and we are
Mhm.
very, very close.
Very close.
See,
think we
look,
can do
I'm
this.
safe. I'm the good child
The
today.
hell you are.
Wow, just looking for that exemption. I see how it is.
Yeah. That's,
Thank you, DC. This is a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
I'm so glad I
always
finally
have
got to
fun.
play the game.
Yeah,
with you.
yay.
So
yes.
No matter how you sliced it, this was a great adventure. Thank you all for joining
exactly.
in.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, how do we top that?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be rough, but really, it was a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go around and do our outros.
Someone save me.
We're so close. We're so close.
All right. Panda, plug all your things.
Plug all the things. Monday or Sunday morning, I'm going to be on Dimples and Dice's channel playing Glix in Wayward Revelry. About an hour after that, I'm going to be on Gaming Mag's channel on the podcast, as I am a 2022 LGBTQ Streamer Rising Star nominee for the Gaming Awards. I will be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Thursday this week on my channel, starting between 9 and 9:30 a.m. Central, at Awkwardish Panda on all the socials. I will be co-streaming the Gaming Awards on April 25th. There's going to be bunches of news and stuff in the lead up to that coming up over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be on the GR crew on April 29th for another charity fundraiser, doing TTRPG shenanigans. We're going to be playing a game of The Expanse. I think that's it for this month. Everyone come to Cypher's stream for her birthday on Tuesday for Video Game Thirst ridiculousness. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, all the charity things. Oh yeah, raising money for St. Jude starting April 18th on my channel. I'm going to be crocheting a dragon for my nephew because, kids stuff for kids charity. So yeah, no, that's me. I'm very, very busy right now, and it's a good busy, and I love it, but I'm tired.
Awesome. Pirate.
Hi, I'm the Painting Pirate, he, him. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/Painting Pirate. I will be streaming both days this weekend at 5 p.m. Eastern, where I'll be doing some mini painting. Other than that, follow me on the Twitter machine for whenever I'm next doing stuff. I'd say the biggest, most exciting thing I have coming up is go check out Balrog 1911's channel starting on April 24th, where I and a number of other fun people will be starting a campaign of Brinkwood Blood of the Tyrants, which is a Forged in the Dark themed castle punk drink the rich type thing, which I'm very, very excited to get to do. So follow the Twitters for all the info.
Yes.
Excellent. Herb.
Yes. Hi, Urban Bohemian. He, they. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Urban Bohemian, except for TikTok because I barely use it, and that's not my username there. Coming up, let's see. Tomorrow morning will be a stream, and I'm not really sure what we're gonna play. I might just do Hades for a morning, just because of the thing that I just did. That was a lot of fun. This Sunday, I'm gonna play more Animal Crossing, and we have Rivals on 12:30 at twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep. Coming up next week, I'm going to be playing in Mercy Road 3. That's going to be a charity campaign on April 9th. And later, more this month, I'll be doing some Destiny streams with my Wookie Cookies teammates for Players versus Cancer. On the 18th of April, I'm going to be, Sylvester is going to return in the second part of our Kitten Caper. We had a kitten rescue in Waterdeep. And then on May 1st, I'm going to be playing with the GR crew for another charity game. I believe we're going to be playing Blades in the Dark. I'm busy. So if you see me, I'm going to be really tired, but you won't see me because we should all be staying inside right now. So.
All right. Thank you. Zero.
Hey everyone, my name is Zer Reynolds, aka Zer Jester, also known as the Painting Pirate your mother tells you have at home. I'm going to be over on Dimple and Dice's channel for another episode of Wayward Revelry this Sunday at 11 a.m. That's Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. Then I'll be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday during the week, doing everything from doing some mini painting, or actually, no, sorry. Monday, we are doing the chat creates a TTRPG character. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to be throwing down some Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, because that game has consumed my soul. And then on into the weekend for another wonderful episode of Wayward Revelry. At the end of this month, I will be running a one-shot for my original one-shot story based on the Witchlight Carnival called The Wandering Winter at Witchlight. I'm going to be getting players together hopefully this weekend, and that is also going to be for Jasper's Game Day. So lots of stuff coming up.
Excellent. And yeah, that leaves me. Hi, I'm DC. You're on my channel. You can find me everywhere at DC Lasair. That's DC LASAIR. So yeah, go on the Tweeties and the Twitches and the Instagrams and find me all there. And let's see here. Stuff. I'm a producer here on Twitch for a bunch of stuff. I'm moderator for a bunch of stuff. And let's see here. Oh yeah, I stream right here on my channel, as I mentioned, Monday through Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I play video games, and yeah, I was playing The Legend of Zelda Monday. I'm going to switch it up. I'm doing another game. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, I'm doing a game. Come by. It'll be fantastic. And then on Thursdays, I DM and produce a game over on twitch.tv/gildinglight called The Echoing Dark. And that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. So please check that out, or check out the VODs over on Gilding Light's YouTube. That would be wonderful. And thank you all for joining me for my extended birthday celebration. Yay! This was the finale.
Happy birthday!
Yay! Thank you.
Happy birthday.
For raising $365 for charity for Jasper's Game Day. If you need any resources around suicide prevention at any time, you can come into my chat and type !you matter, and feel free to copy and paste that block of text wherever you may need it. And yeah, and I am an ambassador for them for 2022, and I will be doing more charity games. If we're all relatively okay, I will be running a game at Gen Con. So stay tuned for announcements for that. And like I said, look at my Twitter, because I will be tweeting about it all over the place once it gets in the schedule. So I think that's everything. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you to my wonderful cast. Thank you to everyone that tuned into watching. Thank you, Tuck, for being here. We appreciate it.
Tuck is great.
Tuck is great.
We miss you, Tuck.
Tuck's okay.
0.
Tuck's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
0
On the other side of the planet, aren't they?
It's easy. It's easy now to say that, right? Yeah. Like, okay, now you're saying, yeah.
And yeah. So thank you.
I'm just waiting for Catherine to run in with the pillow at any given moment, like just
Probably.
the whap.
Probably.
So
if you donate however much is left,
I'm like, that's an incentive that we need to add. We do need to add that. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Last minute incentive. Do it. I'll leave the stream running on an end screen for a while.
Wow. Wow.
So.
Wow.
We have your address, and all Tuck has to do is ask, and you have extra llamas coming.
Son of a. Yeah. That's. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right.
Yep. Video evidence. Here it comes.
Hello, my love.
We definitely should have charged for that. We absolutely should have charged for that. Yeah.
All right. So look, bonus content. All right. Over my birthday celebration, I've given you like 10 and a half hours of entertainment for free. So thank you for your donations. Thank you for coming by and saying happy birthday. I really appreciate it. And that was a beautiful moment to end on. Really touches me here.
Wow.
All the hearts. Thank y'all so much.
Yep.
Well, thank you all. Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.